Okie dokie, ladies and gents. I figured, seeing as I just got a nifty 30-day trial for some software because I'm too cheap to buy anything, I would show you guys something other than plain old Minecraft, specifically Tekkit. Now, I might make a few videos of these within these 30 days. Who friggin' knows? Okay, so, for those of you who don't know Tekkit is Minecraft but better and laggier, if you can imagine that. This here is oil. Oil's needed for some stuff. Not a whole lot of stuff, but some stuff. Now what I'm flying down is like this big ass oil shaft, and it will come down to this collective pool of oil. Now oil can be pumped out with tanks, etc. But you know, there are a whole bunch of different ways that you can do it. So I'm just going to go into creative. Oh, I'm already in creative and show you about. Alright. So say here, you have to get a material, a pump, blah, and you put the pump there. However, that is boring and crappy. So, as per the title of this video, I'm going to show you how to make some shit-kicking good oil geysers. And by oil geysers, I mean oil rigs. Shut up, I'm illiterate. So what you're going to need to start off with is preferably some dirt, some wood, and some scaffolding. So I will go out of creative, and I'll show you how to do it. Righto. So you want to start making like a little 3x3 ring of scaffolding. I'd put a block under the scaffolding because scaffolding is a bit of a temperamental bitch that will pretty well fall down if you do anything besides exactly what it wants you to do. So yeah, a bit of dirt's always nice. Dirt's like duct tape, fixes everything. Righto, so put a bit more dirt there. So you want to make this little 3-wide ring here. This isn't so much practical as it is looking awesome. But it's still pretty practical. I mean, you can climb up scaffolding as you could do with a ladder. So, say you need to get up to your oil geyser quickly, I don't know, like your engine's about to explode. For those of you who don't know what engines are, I'll explain those momentarily. But it's always nice to have. So, got a stack of scaffolding here, that should be more than enough. We'll start spicing it up later. I might put some like lamps on here and maybe make the scaffolding look a tad better. Whatever the case, it's going to look bitchin'. So, my experience with oil rigs, and I've built quite a few of them, I'll show you when Minecraft fixes its shit and decides to let us play multiplayer again. For those of you watching this video when it come out, which I doubt that any of you, Minecraft's multiplayer is down. But what I will do is I will show you an online server that I play on and show you a properly good oil rig that's on multiplayer. So what we've got here is the top of the spout, right? So what you're going to do here is you're going to get a pump. Now to make a pump, we're going to recipe mode for a minute. A pump requires a tank, which is just simple glass, nothing too hard, and a mining well. That's a bit more challenging. It requires a lot of iron. So you like, that's just iron surrounding a stone gear surrounding a stick. And it also requires a pickaxe and a bit of redstone. So you know, it's not exactly high-end, but it's not cheap. So, I'm going to go back into creative, or maybe just into cheat mode actually, and get a pump. So we need a pump. We need a pump, and you put the pump there. Right? So, I'll show you once it gets powered. Oh, no, you can see it there. This little tube here will sink in and start sucking up the oil as soon as I start powering it, and once I put a waterproof pipe up there. Now, we get more scaffolding. Apologies for the break. Slight bit of computer retardation. Now we're going to get a bit more scaffolding, because what we're going to do here is once you get waterproof pipes, which I'll show you how to make soon. You want to put your tanks, and this again is just because it looks freaking badass. You want to put your tanks on the oil rig instead of like off somewhere. If we want to get an oil refinery, which we won't do this video, maybe the next, then I will show you how to also make your oil refinery look good, make engines giving power look awesome, just generally the pretty sweet looking oil rig. This isn't so much as practicality, though it is practical, as it is looking badass. Right, so what we've got here is waterproof pipes. I'm just going to so you can see them all. So pipe water... there. Back to recipe. So pipe waterproofing is ostensibly cactus green in a crafting bench. Not too hard. So what you do then is we want, like, say, a cobblestone waterproof pipe. Cobble and stone basically do the same thing. You can figure out the logistics by yourself, I guess. So yeah, you just apply it to a transport pipe, which is just that material, 2 of them, and then some glass in the middle. So we're going to get some of that. And a tank, I won't go back into recipe mode, but a tank is just basically building a furnace out of glass. And that will give you your tank. So we'll get a stack of those. And what we'll do here is we'll create a similar setup to what we just did over there on the other bit. But, oh, another thing about scaffolding is really annoying. You've got to have a solid block under part of it, or some scaffolding near it, otherwise it just does not place. Which is annoying. So yeah, this thing's going to be suspended in midair, it's going to look pretty pimp. But for the meanwhile, we're going to have to sort of live with, you know, like a creative. Creative will be easier to show you guys. We're going to have to live with it being suspended for a bit. Right. So, stupid dirt. Okay. So you want your tanks on your oil rig. That's a necessity. Look, it's a necessity for looking badass. Forgive me if you think it's actually a necessity. It's not. But it's a necessity for looking badass, which we want. That's the objective of this video. To show you a badass oil rig. Because oil rigs, the ones I've seen, tend to look a bit stupid, a bit just built for practicality. Sort of like Korean cars. They're good, not exactly a Ferrari though. So, I'm going to show you how to make the overly cool oil rig, the Ferrari of oil rigs. Right, so we're going to have this pipe coming up 2 blocks out. I'll show you why in a moment. And we'll have, say, 3 tanks here. Have them about that tall. Now you can stick this pipe anywhere in the tanks and it will fill up from the bottom. Know that. So we're just going to split it. This means the oil here will split and start filling up all these 3 tanks. So right now, I know it's not great, but shut your face. So an engine. Steam engines are basically piston and then wooden gears and a bit of cobble. So we're going to have some steam engines going, because steam engines are the best for this in the short term, and this is only going to be a short video, so I'm not going to have... Technically a redstone engine would be better, because they don't explode quite so easily, and blah 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 blah. Point being, we're going to do a quick and easy solution, and that's going to be steam engines. Turn it to day. So, you need to power a steam engine with coal, da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da. So, I'll get this pumping, just so you can actually see. So, see, it pumps the oil out of there, and it will, like, drain the source blocks. If there's source blocks here, it'll drain them. But, eventually, I'm just going to cover this with scaffolding so it doesn't look quite so stupid. And this will just pump it up. With each pump that these tanks come up, this fills part of the tanks. And you can see here, very tiny amount of oil this will eventually fill up. We're not here to talk about that though. We're here to talk about building an oil rig. So, for maximum badassery, you're going to want to have this dirt gone. You want to be careful like I'm doing, see I'm not knocking out too much dirt at a time, because otherwise your whole scaffolding might fall down. It's a big old buggy mess. So we're just going to have it like this. So knock out the middle support and just leave this like that. See, nice and easy, quick simple solution, not too much trouble. Hell, if you're really ambitious you can make it free, damn it. Alright, see that's what you don't want to do. If you're really ambitious you can make, say, a house in your oil rig. I wouldn't recommend it, because that's like stupid unless you're someone like Gina Reinhardt. Anyone in Australia will get that. then you don't want to live in an oil rig. It's just probably a bit sticky, and noisy, you get fumes. It's like living on a major motorway or near a fat person's house. Too many fumes, too much sticky stuff from eating donuts or something. I didn't really think out the joke, shut up. But right now, we'll stick to the not living in the oil rig thing. Should I get the request, I'll make a house in here and I'll show you how livable it is. It's probably not going to be that livable, I warn you now. So you can see here, it's starting to look a lot better once you start knocking out supports and refining it down a bit. No pun intended for the oil thing. And that's fine. That was an accident. Ah! That was an accident, but not entirely unwanted. Because that just knocked out a lot of unnecessary scaffolding. I'll say now, the less scaffolding you have, the better. Because it makes it look cleaner and more professional. And especially when you're playing a multiplayer, a good oil rig conveys that you have power. Like, I know that oil might give you actual power, but apologies, my internet is some kind of stupid, horrible, evil design to piss me off. Which I admit isn't very hard when your internet that doesn't work and you're trying to record something. Be that as it may, show must go on. Wow. Now you see there, that's what I mean. I take out one block, and this whole thing falls down pretty much. See there, if I add this block here, okay, this is why I have the wood. Now, we're going to be using wooden scaffolding, because iron scaffolding is just too expensive and too impractical. So, use wood blocks if you need to put down blocks for it to work. And that will look pretty much the same as the scaffolding. And it will just make it look a lot less like a mess. Right? So, we can see here right now, the oil is filling up. Pretty much, we've got a working oil rig. However, we don't want a working oil rig, we want a badass oil rig. Now, once we've done this, you're going to look up. The diamond handsaw costs 2 diamond, 3 sticks, 2 iron. So it's pretty expensive. And what you want to do then, is you want to... I don't know if this will work. No, that won't work. So what we'll do is we'll get... See these? These are little covers that are very, very handy for trimmings. Now what we might do is we might put a bit of edging and such around our oil rig. You know, just to make it look nice. So say you put it here. Back into creative, sorry. Say you put it here. Well, we might extend this to 3x3. Just looks nicer. So we'll put this here. Are these coverings? These are panels, I think. Yeah, whatever the case. So we've got these here. Dun, dun, dun. So you can see just that nice little bit of trimming. We might put a bit of trimming on the bridge, because the bridge just looks fairly ugly and such right now. And maybe a furthermore there. So now you've got a professional looking oil rig. So yeah, right now that could pass. That looks good. Let's just knock out these. Did anything fall down? No, it doesn't look like it. We're alright. Alright, so there you go. Pretty good looking oil rig. But it's not always daytime. Now you've got a pretty shit looking oil rig. So what I'll do is I'll save this. And what we'll do is we'll get some lamps. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ooh, green. Nuclear. And some redstone torches. Now a green lamp you might want to look up. It's pretty expensive. You can use anything. You can use torches. But I think green looks pretty cool. So I'll put green here. So it's always nice when you've got oil next to a hill like this, because then you can stick green there. I hope these aren't going to explode. That would be inconvenient right now. Say we put a lamp there. what we'll do then is we'll load this back up. And what you can do is you can get a redstone torch, stick that there, and this is also where paneling comes in handy. You can hide these little ugly bits. Done. See there? Now, the oil rig is lit up, looks good, it's pretty professional. So I think that'll conclude it, guys. It's not the greatest oil rig. I'll fix it up, I'll add some flaming towers and such next video. And I'll see you guys then. Until then, okay, thanks, bye.